Hi guys, this is Brian, aka Grizzly Adams Beard on Discord. Wanted to show off a new project I've been working on. I'm still somewhat new to course building, but I have years and years of experience in software development. So I decided I could try to contribute by streamlining some of the rougher edges of the process of course building. The first one I wanted to try to tackle was terrain data sourcing and height map creation. So I just want to first say that the process outlined in the docs and then the videos that Masterblast did is awesome, and it has everything you need to do if you want to do this manually. But I don't like doing things manually. I like automation. So I attempted to script and automate basically every step of the free LiDAR process. So I'll introduce you to Course Terrain Tool, which is a desktop app that sort of combines the functionality that we used QGIS for and Cloud Compare. So it should be able to handle LAS files as well as GeoTIFFs at some point. Right now it just deals with LAS files. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to download the beta. So you come to our releases page and you're going to want to find if you're on Windows, find that exe file. If you're on Mac, I'd go for this DMG, but we're on Windows at the moment for this demo, so we're going to download this exe file. You'll see I've got a few of them, but let's install o.o.13. I haven't worked out code signing yet, so you're going to have to do this whole dance where you run anyway and just trust that this app is going to be fine. You can trust me, I promise. Just trying to make terrain building easier. So once it's installed, you're done. We will actually go ahead and run Course Terrain Tool. So the first time you open this, you're probably going to get this message, and that's because we depend on a couple libraries, mainly PDAL and GDAL, for dealing with these LiDAR data files. PDAL is a library that does point cloud like LAS data manipulation, and GDAL does the raster GeoTIFF manipulation. And you can read more about these tools, and if you prefer to install them yourself either on Mac or Windows, you can do that. That's totally fine. Just install those and then relaunch Course Terrain Tool, and you should avoid getting this message. But if you want to go the easy route, just click this button. The process will take a while, and it takes, I think, around 5 gigabytes of space. So I'm desperately working on improving and reducing that. But for now, this is the easiest path to get these. Just click this button, boom, go grab a beer, and come back in a minute or two, and you will have those two libraries ready to go. And it looks like we were able to install those. So like I said, be patient. That step does take a while. It's pushing around a lot of data. So now that we're done, we can click done, and we should be ready to roll. Let's go ahead and make this window a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, yeah, let's do our first course. So to start, you can see here, you're going to want to shift click on the map to set your center point. And when you set your center point, this reddish, orangish square here is your inner course. And it'll force it to be a square, which is what Unity requires. And you can drag your size around just to get that exact course you want. If you're doing a bigger course like this or a oddly shaped course, you can just keep adjusting this to get it in the square here. Let's pull this one down and do this small one up here. So we can optionally set an outer area as well. Just know that the distance here is the distance from the edge of the inner. So if you want a full, 3 kilometers or so outside of your inner, you can do that. For this demo, we'll turn off the outer and we'll just do the inner to show you how it works. So first step is click Search Data. And it's going to search the USGS LiDAR files and group them. So this isn't a good example because this is one tile that covers this, but you'll watch if I turn on the outer to this giant area and I search that. Now it's pulling groups of up to 34, 9. So if we click this 9, we can see the 9 tiles it needs to cover our whole outer and inner area. So again, let's turn the outer back off. Let's search. Let's grab our one tile that we need here and go to the next step. We're also going to set an inner resolution. This is the raster resolution of the point cloud data. And you can see as you drag this around, if you go too low on the resolution, it's going to give you an error that you really shouldn't go past. About 8,000, I think, is what the limit is. So you just want to find a resolution that you have the patience to wait for, because the higher the resolution here, or I guess the lower the number, the higher the output, the longer it's going to take to process, and the larger the file is going to be. So I like to do somewhere between 0.2 and 0.5, depending on the size of the course, and a lot of times depending on how hilly and how dramatic the slopes of the course are, but that's sort of up to you, which is why I gave you the slider and the ability to control that. So let's just do this quick sample. It's just an inner at 30 centimeters. We can create files. So what we're going to want to do is pick basically type our course name here. So if we were building, let's say, Riviera. I think I spelled that right, did I? Maybe. Okay. So let's call this Riviera Terrain, and let's click Create Course Folder. So now it's going to basically run the entire pipeline. It'll download any of the LAS files you need. It will perform a step that merges and then crops that LAS, so it creates one file out of our area. And then it's going to rasterize the point cloud data to a TIFF file. This is the step that tends to take the longest, again, depending on the resolution you'd set. I'm hoping to at some point get some progress information about this job, but PDAL, the library that runs it, doesn't seem to output any progress as it's working. So we just have to wait and hope that our error handling works correctly, and if there's a problem, it should tell us that there's a problem. But we'll just fast forward the video here. Okay, now it's going to basically fill in the missing point cloud data. It does an interpolation. It's going to gather our min-max. It's going to grab a bunch of satellite imagery and generate our hill shade and do all that fun stuff that we used to have to do manually. The satellite images step does also sometimes take a while. I've noticed that the tile servers can be slow. Just be patient on the satellite step. Okay, we're doing our hill shade now, and we're done. So I'm hoping, if it worked right, if we reveal the folder here, here's our Riviera Terrain, and we see we've got a bunch of files in here now. We've got our min-max CSV, which should have all the meters and feet information. We've got overlays, which will be our JPEG of satellite imagery for both Google and Bing here. We've got our, I'm sure I should show you the hill shade as well. There's the hill shade image. Most importantly, we've got our 30 centimeter raw height map for Unity, and every other file that it dealt with along the way. So it's got the raw LAS file downloaded, the merged LAS. It's got our TIFFs, basically it does a temp. This is without the interpolation where it fills in the gaps, and then this is with the gap filling. Based on some feedback I get from you guys, I'm debating whether to keep all these files or just keep the ones you'll need for the next steps, like the raw file and the overlays. I'm also working on generating an Inkscape compatible SVG that will be your template, like your starting point, to start working in Inkscape. But yeah, that's the whole course terrain tool demo. Again, it's in early beta. Probably going to be some bugs and some issues. I did notice that the raw terrain, when I imported it into Unity, has some rough spots, like there's maybe some missing LiDAR data or some classification layers. So we'll probably have to fine tune this a bit or add some additional steps, like manual user steps into the process to make sure you end up with clean terrain data. But I'm excited to try building some courses with this, and I'm excited to get some feedback from you guys to see if you guys like it and think it's useful. So thanks. See ya.